What's up guys, Caleb here, and today I'm going to be showcasing this massive LEGO Apocalypse Town mock that I built. Now, funny story for this mock is that this was actually originally going to be a massive Star Wars mock. It was going to be a huge Star Wars mock. That was the original plan. And I was literally like, I had these two buildings done, and it just wasn't working out. I just could not see it in Star Wars, and it was just not working out. And there was a point in this build where I was literally about to break it in frustration, because it just was not acting like a Star Wars mock, and I was about to destroy this mock and just move on with my life when I realized, what if I just turn this into an apocalypse mock? And my mind went to it, and it decided to become a good idea, and I pretty much changed some of the little details and made it into an Apocalypse Town mock. This was somewhat inspired off of the LEGO Movie 2 Apocalypseburg set. I think that's an epic set, and I just wanted to do pretty much an apocalypse mock from then on. Once again, it was supposed to be a Star Wars mock, but it got turned into an Apocalypse Town mock halfway through. So in it, we have two shops, we have a radio station, got a sheriff's office, we have a bar, we have a welder shop, we have a mechanic shop, and a small apartment building. So let's dive in to this just ginormous mock that I made. This thing is absolutely epic, and I am so excited. So in total, there are 14 custom Apocalypse Town minifigures. We have like a citizen who's really decked out with stuff. We have a woman who actually runs one of the shops. We have a bartender. We have a mechanic who's probably my favorite just because he's got tools and a really cool coat and stuff. We have a welder who turned out neat with like a little red hot piece of metal. We have just another citizen with like a robot mask. We have a guy buying something from the shop. We have a dog. We have a sheriff with a pretty big mustache, which I like. Somebody with a walkie-talkie. A guy with a really big like black biker helmet. We have this guy with these really cool like fists who's actually chasing this guy who's like terrified of him. So this guy's hunting this guy down. We have a guy who's at the bar getting a little bit drunk, and then we have pretty much a robber. So there's 14 minifigures and a dog in total. My favorite is probably this mechanic. He turned out really cool. But I am pretty happy, with my selection of, beat up apocalypse minifigures, really. So here's the completed model, and I kind of made a story for it, that basically there's these radioactive barrels and all sorts of acid and poisonous gas that has pretty much killed off a bunch of the human population. And so these guys are some of the only people left on the world, and they're pretty much just using, scrapped parts to make their own city and try and thrive and, start humanity again, but it's just really beat up and, run down because almost everybody's dead. And so that's the main story I have for this apocalypse mock. But really, I built it like modular style. So there's actually 4 main buildings. There's this building, this building, this building, and this building. And each of the roofs can come off, so you can actually access the interior a lot easier. For each of these buildings, you can just kind of pop off the roofs just to access the interior a lot easier. And so we can get to the inside by, taking all the roofs off. So we're going to start with that and check out the first floor before we check out the second floors of each of these shops, because this is really epic. Pretty much along between the 4 buildings, there's a long street where I pretty much put the guy hunting this guy down, and I also added like a really bloody skeleton, just, got my darkness on, and then even have like a sign that's crooked here, and we even have a little alleyway with a fan and a crate and stuff back there. And so there's pretty much an entire city street, even a little alleyway here. But there's a little alley and just a pretty big, beat up street with trash cans and junk and blood and stuff flying around. So it's pretty dark, but that's like the main street hangout area, I would say. In this building, we pretty much have the bar where we have a guy giving drinks to some guys. And then we even have a table here with a window, and you can just come in through the door there, and there's a window. And so it's pretty much just, a bar/hangout spot. This is the main spot where you can kind of get food in the town, I would say. Across from the bar, we have the mechanic shop, where we have some tires, we have an engine, a little, cupboard or something, and pretty much a barrel. And then there's this thing, so you can pretty much put a car on top of this thing. In order for the mechanic who's outside of the shop to work on it, you can literally just pry it up like that and have him work on the cars. So you can have him work on the cars and get underneath and work on it, and then when he's done, just like a real mechanic shop, you can just put it back down just like that. And that's a really cool detail, and really the mechanic shop is one of my favorite rooms in this set. It's just such a cool room, and I love this little feature that I was able to incorporate of some that you can lift your car up on to fix it. I really like this room. And then the other two buildings, this is a shop and this is a shop. This is more of like an item shop, as the sign says. I actually got it from a Ninjago set that Sam let me borrow this piece from, so shout out to Sam. Thanks for letting me borrow that piece for the item shop. But there's pretty much an item shop and a weapon shop. But we have the woman working at the cash register, and you have the guy check out. But it's got, some tables and shelves full of stuff. It's even got this pretty cool, like, floppy wall that adds kind of like a curtain on this side of the wall, which turned out really cool. As you can see, it's pretty much just this track piece, but it works well as almost a curtain sort of thing. And personally, I like this item shop a little bit better than that one. There's a bit more room for walking around in here. It's just got a really cool feel, and I really do like the item shop sign outside of it. That really adds something to it. And between the two item shops is the alleyway where we do have a little fan, which turned out kind of cool. Then we have a guy walking there and just some crates and junk and stuff back there. Then we have the junk shop, or just kind of weapon shop. We have some guns, we have a whip, we have an axe, we have a crystal. We even have a little penguin, because of course you need a penguin in an apocalypse weapon store. And then we have a guy shopping here, and then we have a little counter in the back. And this is a pretty cool, room. There isn't actually a sign for it, which is a bit of a shame. But, it's got an entrance, it's got everything you need, and, a junkyard shop like that, which is pretty cool. But it is also pretty simple, just to put all the shops back on, which is nice. So we can put the welder shop right on top of the mechanic shop that goes there. Then we can put, we can put the beat up apartment that actually goes right over top of the bar here, and it just clicks in place. Everything has a little spot where it clicks in place so it can carry around and stuff. Then we can put the sheriff's office right over top of the item shop, and last but not least, we can put the radio station right on top of the other weapon shop, and it all pretty much attaches in there. And I gotta say, when you have it all in there, it just makes this city look even bigger and better. I will say the item shop is the only building that actually has a third floor, and that's a small rooftop garden where you can have them grow plants, which is a pretty cool detail, and you can just pop that off to access the sheriff's office underneath of here, which is a really cool detail. It's got a window with some plants, but it's just got his desk and a coffee mug and a little window and stuff, and outside there's even an AC and some plants growing over the window. That's the sheriff's office, right over top of the shop, and then the rooftop garden just goes right on top. And it does have a little door, which of course you can open to get inside the sheriff's office. On top of the weapon shop is a radio station, and I feel like I need to just take the radio station off just to show you how cool it is. So here's the radio station, and I managed to get it at this super cool angle, and it's actually locked in place like that. You can see it's not even putting any stress on it at all. I found out a way to actually lock it in place like this, as I say, as the microphones go tumbling off. That part maybe I should have attached it a bit better, but it's at this really cool angle, which is really cool, and I managed to get the window at this weird side angle that actually turned out really cool. But this is pretty much a radio / communications center where you have the guy, and you have a bunch of controls and a seat which can rotate, and you can have them pretty much control it, and there's even a satellite on top, which does have quite a wide range of motion, and an antenna piece. But it's pretty much a radio station where you can communicate with the other people that are only living on Earth. But I'm really happy how I managed to get it at this super cool angle. As you can see, it's literally just locked in place at that angle, which is super epic. Above the bar, we have a little apartment, which I also got at a really cool angle. You can see it's got a little bed, a trash can, and a wheel. It's even got a skull outside of it on the metal beard thing, and then it's even got a ladder. And you can see there's actually a bit of walking room over top of it, which is really cool. But as you can see, it actually has a little satellite and antenna on top. It's at a really cool angle. It's also locked in there, pretty good. You can actually go it like that, but it's actually lined up exactly with that. And above the mechanic shop is actually the welder shop, which is a really cool detail. And a fun detail that I did do is outside of the mechanic shop, I actually put a tire with a saw going through it. And so that's the sign for this shop, and that turned out so epic. It's like an apocalyptic mechanic shop, and I just love this sign, But this is the welder shop. I'm going to show you that because this is a really cool detail. But if you want to access it even better, we can literally just pull this up, and it's at this really cool angle. And we have the welder shop, which turned out really cool. I had this extra room, and I really didn't know what to do with it. So this is the last room I built, but I pretty much built a welder shop. It turned out epic because you have his red hot tools, and you have a table so he can do his work. He's got some tools over there. And of course, he had to have a furnace with some red stuff. It's even got, a switch and, a control dial for how hot it's getting. This turned out a really, really cool room of it. And I just want to take a second to acknowledge how cool it looks from above. Like, how much stuff I've managed to pack into an apocalyptic city like this. It just turned out so cool, man. And I think this is a perfect example of, like, if I would have given up on this as a Star Wars mock, I would have never gotten this. So I'm really, really happy that, I decided to not give up and just keep trying and turn it into something like this. Because if I would have gave up, I never would have gotten this. And I'm pretty happy that I didn't give up on it, because this just turned out so freaking epic. But anyhow, this is Super Productions. Sign off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe. And honestly, this is one of the coolest mocks I've ever built. I mean, this mock just turned out epic. And, of course, if you know me, of course, in like a week or two, I'm going to be destroying this. And I'll probably, film me smashing it from a ladder or hitting it with a baseball bat or something. That's all I got for now, so make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.